Communication is always vital when competing in tournaments. Winning a match requires perfect coordination. You cannot win by yourself.
Raid call. Communication for winners.
Alright, just like about everything I do in terms of guides, I can't find an easy or interesting way to do this, so I'll probably just zoom in on my binds and do that one this way. So 1, 2, and 3 are 1 is jab, 2 is Tiger's Lust myself and cancel or pre-shield sprint and any other sprint I could think of. I'm pretty sure pre-shield sprint's the only one I have in there, but I think the druid one you'd probably need, maybe the warrior one if you're playing warrior monk druid. And 3 is actually Fist of Fury. They're just macros to show the tooltip of it. Reason I say I want to do this is basically if I'm at 24 of 25 seconds on Fist of Fury and I stop to cast my Fist of Fury, they're gonna walk out of range of it. It's just how the ability works because you have to stop and channel your stun. So I want to see the tooltip. 4 would generally be Cloak of Shadows. I forgot what I was doing where I actually needed healing elixirs, but I have it. That's just where it would be. 5 is Ring of Peace. Shift 1 is Tiger's Lust healers. If you want the macro, I'll go look at it right now. It's pretty much just got every healer I play with, and I rotate them out. 2 is for DPS, which is obviously the exact same thing except just for DPS. And Shift 3 is Nimble Brew. So that's Shift 1, 2, 3. Shift 4 is Hellstone. Would be Will of the Forsaken if I was undead. And then that's that. A and Shift A are Kick and Focus Kick. S is Spinning Fire Blossom. D is Zon. And the Zon macros, pretty much everything you use for damage. Quick note about it, if you have Tiger's Eye Brew in it, don't mash it. You have to watch your GCD to summon it. Otherwise, if you have 11 stacks of Tiger's Eye Brew, you will cancel the 10 stack and pop a 1 stack if you mash it. So I also have Tiger's Eye Brew manually bound. And then I just make sure I'm off GCD when I summon Zon. It's just something you have to be aware of. Hamstring, Expel Harm, Detox, and Crackling Jade Lightning. Shift S looks exactly the same as Tiger's Lust. I don't know where it's at. It's Dispel DPS of diseases for fucking Shadow Priest and maybe DKs. And the same goes for healers on D. Shift F is just normal disarm my target. Zen Med, Storm Earth and Fire, which is... I don't know the actual order on this. So it goes cancel aura first and then cast Storm Earth and Fire, so you always cancel it. Simple way of canceling it would just be on GCD when you cancel your Storm Earth and Fire. So you could do anything and then cancel it without using it. Just something to be aware of. I have no issue doing it though. Just if you're like sitting there trying to cancel it, it probably won't work. Or if you CC, it works too. Shift C is Tiger's Eye Brew. F2 is just show tooltip Tiger's Eye Brew again, and it does Healing Sphere, which the macro itself just has an exclamation mark. So when you mash it, zoom out here, you can just leave the thing down and turn off Healing Spheres for people. Energizing Brew, Ring of Peace, my healers is Shift 5. It also has like random people in it if I'm doing 2s. It's just that one. Then I have Ring of Peace for the DPS on Control C and Control G for more healers. Anyway, G is Flying Serpent Kick, Shift G is Roll, H is Fortifying Brew, B is Touch of Karma, T is Chi Wave, Rising Sun Kick, Tiger Palm. It shows tooltip Rising Sun Kick, but the actual macro for the stopwatch all show on screen, so you'll be able to see it. And then it's Touch of Death, and then Blackout Kick, which is show tooltip Touch of Death. Okay, on to the other binds that probably actually confuse people, but I'm not really going to bother explaining the macros for them. Transcendence Transfer, and then Lay the Port, and then the other 3 are Focus Arena 1, 2, 3, and technically I have the wrong one showing. I actually don't really care on the cooldown of that, because it's 25, and I would port to, generally speaking, a bad place once the cooldown mattered. So I should change that, but it doesn't really matter. I already check before I do it, and I'm used to looking there. So it's not too big of an issue. Then I have Perilous and Focus Perilous, and then that one's Focus Arena 1, 2, 3. Alt 1, 2, 3 is Target Arena 1, 2, 3. And I only have Focus Perilous. Since the 20-yard range buff, maybe Arena 1, 2, 3 for Perilous would be useful, but I'm still just like stuck in the mindset of I want a 6-second Perilous, so I'm going to watch my positioning, and during that time I can change focus. But Arena 1, 2, 3 could be helpful. I'm not entirely sure yet. And then on use Trinket manually, my 2 buffs. This shows tooltip Blood Fury, which I'll do that real quick. Blood Fury, and then Arena 1, 2, 3 disarm. There's no macro for spinning Crane Kick, and then actually binding my trinket as opposed to just watching the cooldown over here where it is on some other tunes. I just have the bind in the wrong place. that's my binds. Like I was saying, on terms of the macros as I went through this, there's nothing all that important. Just like it's just targeting stuff really. There's no major macro. Arena 1 2 3 disarm, focus kick, some tooltip changes, focus perilous, just target people, ring of peace. Healing sphere is probably the closest thing to a real macro, but not that important. The Storm Rhythm Fire cancel aura one. I guess I'll put that probably in the description. And then some of the Tiger's List ones. Zon's just Tiger's Eye Brew, on use trinket, Blood Fury, and then random stuff in case I'm in a BG and I want to look funny. Other than that, there's not much in terms of macros and keybinds, so I don't know what else to say. I just know people were asking for it. Oh, I'll do UI really quick. This is the only real add-on I have, and it's S Arena. Here, I'll show 5. This is S Arena. It's just a simpler version of Gladius. It doesn't show DRs. Gladius was being buggy and I couldn't get it to do what I wanted, so I just said screw it and got something else. And it works just fine. So, that's S Arena. Party frames, I've said this a million times, they're default Blizzard. Interface, not what I meant to click on. Interface, Omni CC. It's literally everything is as its default on Omni CC. And then I'll explain loose control in a second. Raid frames, raid profiles, just use raid style party frames. These are the setups if you want to do it. If you do an RBG, you probably want to check this. If not, just turn it off so that loose control works correctly. And then actually using loose control, it's hard to explain on loose control, so I'll just try to talk you through it. Loose control just does it for, as you can see, just, what the fuck, that's my target. It just doesn't have, it's one of my mistyped ones. Okay, I get that in place. I'll put a target, and I'll focus myself just so you can see it. It just shows certain things, like Zen Meditation, that's the Feral Root, Sap, I have no idea what that actually is, Fist of Fury, Infected Wounds, Spinning Fire Blossom Root, Chains of Ice Slow, Blind. I've customized my own to show certain offensive cooldowns. If I unlock it and relock it, you might be able to see it. Let's see if I can get it to show. Yep, there's one. Okay, the custom thing I did myself, which I will shortly try to explain how you do, is I added in like offensive cooldowns as well. Like this is Demon Soul, this is Skull Banner. I have no idea what the hell that is. But I've added these in myself so I can see what it is, and it's frankly mostly to help you because a lot of times I don't even watch it on enemies because I just wait for the cooldowns and check their buffs as opposed to watching for loose control. But like if you see this on my party frames pop up, you can see when Gannick's dancing or Shadow Bladesing or when people are doing stuff, and it actually makes watching videos, in my opinion, way easier because you don't have to worry about, like, nothing's more infuriating to me than just having to stare at buffs and debuffs if I'm actually trying to watch an arena match, like on a stream. So it does make it a lot easier. If you want help on how to do it, message me on YouTube. I'm not really going to make a guide on it because I think it's pretty limited to me of who wants to do it, and I can just tell you how to do it or copy paste the custom LUA script and give it to you, and hopefully you can figure it out. But that should be pretty much everything. I don't use all that much. So thanks for watching. I'm going to try to edit this. I may have say like I'm zooming in on something and I don't, but I'm sorry. I hope it answers some of the questions I get asked quite frequently.